It has only one electron and one proton. Elemental form of hydrogen is dihydrogen. Di means two, so dihydrogen means H2. So this is the elemental form H2. Its symbol is H, but its elemental form is different. That is H2. Okay, dihydrogen. It is the most abundant element in the universe. It is the third most abundant element on the surface of the earth. No need to mug up these points. You just remember the electronic configuration and its elemental form and the most important information. Okay, this is just for your general knowledge. That is the most abundant element in the universe is hydrogen, and it is the third most abundant on the surface of earth. It combines with different elements to form different compounds. We know that uh, maximum elements forms a bond with hydrogen, like halogen family members HF, HCl, HBr, and HI. So these are the different molecules or compounds of hydrogen with halogen family. In the similar manner, hydrogen combines with metals also, non-metals also, and metalloids also. So hydrogen is the only element which combines with all these three types of elements: metals, non-metals, and metalloids. Hydrogen atom acquires electron density and it acts as a hydride ion. So there are three species of hydrogen, that is proton, H plus, H2, which is the elemental form, and H minus, it is the hydride. H minus is hydride. Hydride means it accepts one electron or it acquires the electron density and it acts as hydride ion. Hydride ion, uh, it also combines with the electron deficient elements and it forms compounds, and those compounds are called as a hydrides, and they are again classified into different types. So we will see the classification, but you just remember right now that what is meant by hydride. Hydride is the H minus ion, which means the hydrogen atom acquires electron density and it acts as the hydride ion. On combination with a metal oxidation number of hydrogen -1, and with non-metallic element it is +1. Means when hydrogen combines with positively charged metal ions, it will have negative oxidation number, that is -1. And when the hydrogen combines with non-metallic elements, it is having the oxidation number +1. Then which one is the non-metallic element? Non-metallic elements. Do you know any non-metal from the periodic table? Halogen family members. All these are non-metals. So halogen is HF. Let's take HF or HCl. So chlorine is highly electronegative element, and in comparison with the chlorine, hydrogen is not very electronegative element. So that time chlorine will have negative charge Cl minus and hydrogen will carry the +1 charge H plus and Cl minus. So in the similar manner, for metals, metals are positive, electropositive. So that time hydrogen will carry negative oxidation state. Okay. Free hydrogen means H, only H atom, hydrogen atom. It is called as a free hydrogen. It has high charge and strong Lewis space. Free hydrogen acts as a strong Lewis space. I hope you know the concept of acids and bases. There are different theories given for acids and bases, and their different definitions are there. So what is mean by Lewis acid base? According to the Lewis acid base theory, Lewis acid means the species which accepts the pair of electrons. Electron pair acceptor called as acid, Lewis acid, and electron pair donors are called as Lewis bases. So this is the definition of Lewis acid and Lewis base. So free hydrogen acts as Lewis base. Strong Lewis base means free hydrogen species is able to donate the electrons. That's why it is called as a strong Lewis base. Okay. Then dihydrogen, which is the elemental form of hydrogen. Dihydrogen H2. It is a stable form of hydrogen at normal conditions. Bond enthalpy of hydrogen-hydrogen means in H2, hydrogen-hydrogen bond is there. The bond enthalpy is 436 kilojoule per mole. Bond length is 0.74 angstrom in it. Nobody will ask you the bond length and the bond enthalpy. You just remember this for your general knowledge. And the important point is hydride and the oxidation state of hydrogen when it combines with metals and non-metals. Okay, where does hydrogen belongs? So I already explained you at the position of hydrogen in the periodic table. So the position of hydrogen is the subject of discussion in the past. Right now, we all know the position is in the first group. But why it was the subject of discussion in the past? I already explained you the reason behind this. That electronic configuration is the basis of arrangement of elements in the periodic table. इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फिगरेशनच्या बेसिसवर आपण elements arrange करतो. So hydrogen resembles both alkali metals, group 4a elements, and halogens. So why it resembles with group 4a elements, that is carbon family elements, and why it resembles with halogens? The reason I already explained you, because of the electronic configuration. Carbon family members also has exactly half filled valence shell electrons, and hydrogen also has one electron which is exactly half filled. So because of this similarity, hydrogen resembles with group 4a element, group 4a, or you can call it as a group 14 element, or simply carbon family elements, carbon family members. Halogens, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, group 17 elements. So why hydrogen resembles with halogens? Because hydrogen also requires one electron to complete its duplet, and halogen family members also requires one electron to complete its octet in the valence shell. That's why hydrogen resembles the halogen family members. And in case of alkali metals mean group first elements. So group first element has one electron in their valence shell, and hydrogen also has one electron in its valence shell. It has only one shell, which is only the valence shell, and this is the similarity between hydrogen and alkali metals. Here it is explained in detail. Like the group first A element, hydrogen has electronic configuration 1s1, and the group first A element also has electronic configuration ns1. Okay, valence shell electronic configuration is ns1. It has single valence electron, and it has a common oxidation state +1. All alkali metal shows common oxidation state +1, and hydrogen also shows +1 oxidation state when it combines with the non-metallic element like chlorine, HCl, H plus and Cl minus. So +1 oxidation state. So these are the similarities between hydrogen and alkali metals. Unlike the alkali metal, hydrogen shares electron with non-metals rather than transferring electron to them. So these are some important points because of which the position of hydrogen is in the group first element. Hydrogen shares electron with non-metals rather than transferring electron to them, and it has much higher ionization energy than any alkali metal due to its small size. Ionization energy, during bridge course, I told you the definition of or the meaning of ionization energy. The minimum amount of energy required to remove the electron from the valence shell or orbital. It is called as a ionization energy. So because of the smaller size of hydrogen, it has much higher ionization energy, and it is higher than any alkali metal. Okay. Then hydrogen and group 4a, why they are similar, or hydrogen resembles the group 4a because of the exactly half filled valence shell. Also, it resembles in terms of ionization energy, electron affinity, electronegativity, and bond energy. That's why there are many compounds of carbon and hydrogen exist in organic chemistry. I think the whole organic chemistry is based on the hydrocarbons, carbon and hydrogen compounds. Why only hydrogen forms very wide number of compounds with carbon? Because of these reasons, it resembles in different ways, such as ionization energy, electron affinity, electronegativity, and bond energy. Am I audible to everyone? And is the screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All of you are getting or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next point is resemblance between halogen and hydrogen. Hydrogen has much lower electronegativity. Halogens are more electronegative, and hydrogens are low electronegative. Okay, hydrogen lacks the 3 electron pairs that halogen have. Hydrogen has only 1 electron, so there is no electron pair, and this is the what we can say difference between hydrogen and halogen. Halides, halide ions are common and stable, but hydride ions are not common because they are rare and reactive. Okay, halide means X minus, F minus, Cl minus, Br minus. These are the common halide ions, and hydride ions, that is H minus, which is not very common. It's rare and reactive species. That's why the position of hydrogen is not in the halogen family. Isotopic effect of hydrogen. Do you know what is meant by isotope? Yes, any one of you? Do you know what is meant by isotope? Isotope, isobar. Uh,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, what is meant by isotope? Element having same atomic number but different mass number is called as isotope. Hydrogen has 3 isotopes. One is first is the elemental form, not elemental form, it's atom, hydrogen, H. Then comes deuterium, and lastly the tritium. All these forms has same atomic number, that is 1, but different mass number, that is different number of neutrons. When there is different number of neutrons present and same number of protons present. The space is called as isotope. Mass number is the combination, or it is the sum of number of protons plus number of neutrons. And in isotopes, number of neutrons are different. That's why hydrogen has three isotopes. One is hydrogen, second is deuterium, and the lastly tritium. Physical and chemical properties are slightly different for isotopes of hydrogen. Slightly different. Difference in bond enthalpies of deuterium and hydrogen is measurable. Bond enthalpies means the energy required to break the bond between uh, oxygen and deuterium, or oxygen or hydrogen. So more energy will require to break the bond between oxygen and deuterium in comparison with the bond between hydrogen and oxygen. Deuterium transfer is 10 times slower than hydrogen. Deuterium is heavy element because of the uh, number of neutrons, or the mass number is double than the hydrogen. So it will require more time to transfer. So the deuterium transfer is 10 times slower than hydrogen. Then next point is mechanistic aspects of hydrogen. Dihydrogen undergoes rapid reaction. Mechanistic aspects means which type of reaction it shows. Dihydrogen undergoes rapid reaction. There are three types of dissociation patterns are observed. Which are those? First one is the homolytic dissociation. Second one is the heterolytic dissociation, and third one is the radical chain reaction. So these are the three types of mechanism uh, shown by dihydrogen. Okay, so let's see one by one what is mean by homolytic dissociation. This is the example of homolytic cleavage or homolytic dissociation. This is a very famous catalyst. We are going to study these catalytic reactions in the next semester in organometallic chemistry. Uh, this is a iridium catalyst, iridium PPH3, phosphorus triphenylphosphine, that is PPH3. PH means phenyl ring. There are three phenyl rings. So it will acquire more space. That's why it is written like this, PPH3. Okay. Three phenyl rings are attached to this phosphorus. And also here, three phenyl rings are attached to this phosphorus. One is backside of the plane, one is above the plane. And this is the carbonyl. Carbonyl, CO. Okay, carbon monoxide. Nothing but the carbonyl group. And this is chlorine. So this catalyst, iridium catalyst, when dihydrogen is the gas. Okay, to carry out the reactions of gaseous substances, metal catalysts are used because metal surface is required. Catalytic surface, not metal surface every time. Catalytic surface is required to carry out the reactions of gaseous substances. So this dihydrogen, when reacts with this catalytic surface, it will attach like this. Hydrogen H2, HH bond. This HH bond will not break completely. There is a partial bonding present between this hydrogen and this hydrogen. In this slide, it is not shown here, but there is a partial bonding exists between this dihydrogen species after attaching to the iridium. and this addition is called as a oxidative addition. Why it is called as oxidative addition? Because oxidation of this iridium takes place. Here, the iridium is present in +1 oxidation state. Can you see this chlorine? These three are neutral species attached to the iridium, and only chlorine, which is electronegative, that is Cl minus. And because of this Cl minus chlorine, iridium becomes electropositive, that is +1 oxidation state. So iridium is present in +1 oxidation state. After addition of this hydrogen, the oxidation state of iridium changes and it becomes iridium +3. And that's why this reaction is called as an oxidative addition. And earlier, this species was 16 electron species, and now it becomes the 18 electron species. So this is the difference between uh, after addition and before addition. So before addition, number of electrons are less, oxidation number is also less, and after oxidative addition, oxidation state increases by +2 units and the number of electrons also increases by 2. Okay. That's why this reaction is called as a homolytic cleavage. Homolytic means what? Homo means same. Homo means same. Equally cleavage होतं इथे हायड्रोजन डायहायड्रोजन स्पेसिसचं आणि इथे पार्शियल बॉन्डिंग एक्झिस्ट करतं. मग ते काही काळापुरतं ते एक्झिस्ट करतं, नंतर तो बॉन्ड पण ब्रेक होऊन जातो. पण होमोलिटिक क्लिवेज झालं, इक्वल क्लिवेज झालं आणि इथे एक H ॲटम हायड्रोजन ॲटम आणि इथे दुसरा हायड्रोजन ॲटम अटॅच झाले. दिस टाइप ऑफ रिएक्शन इज कॉल्ड एज अ होमोलिटिक cleavage. All of you getting me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is the first mechanistic aspect. Then second one is this is also for homolytic cleavage, but example is different. Chemisoption of hydrogen dihydrogen on nickel catalyst. In 12th standard, we have this reaction, hydrogenation reaction. Hydrogenation of ethylene. The reaction was like CH2 double bond CH2 plus H2. Then the reaction arrow, and on that arrow it is written like nickel platinum or nickel palladium, nickel slash palladium or nickel slash platinum. So that time the meaning was not clear, because in lower classes we are not very serious about the details of every reaction. We are just mugging up the reactions to crack the exams. But right now the meaning is clear. How or why the nickel is written on that arrow? Because hydrogen is gas. To carry out the reactions of gaseous reactants, we need some catalytic surface. And when the reactants, gaseous reactants, react on that surface or react with that surface, the surface will not chemically react with the reactants. It is just, it acts as a catalyst. And you know the meaning of catalyst. I hope all of you are well aware about the term catalyst. Catalyst does not take part in the reaction. It only enhances the rate of reaction. And to increase the rate of reaction, to enhance the rate of reaction, dihydrogen reacts with the nickel surface. Nickel acts as a catalyst. And how it reacts? First, the physisorption takes place, which is also called as a physical adsorption. Adsorption is the physical phenomenon. Adhere means to stick on that surface. So the first step is physical adsorption and the second step is chemisorption. Chemisorption means somewhat chemical reaction takes place or chemically it binds with the surface, and physisorption means it will just physically bind to that surface. Okay. So this dihydrogen H2 dihydrogen, it has hydrogen bond. So first it will physisorb on the surface and it will form a species like this. H bond is still there. There is no dissociation. After this step, chemisorption takes place, and when chemisorption takes place, this bond cleaves, this bond breaks in a homolytic manner, and it will bind to each nickel like this: nickel hydrogen atom, nickel hydrogen atom, and this phenomenon is called as a chemisorption, or this is the type of homolytic cleavage. Again, earlier we have seen this reaction and oxidative addition, and this is the chemisorption, or you can say hydrogen dissociates before it is chemisorb on nickel. Hydrogen dissociates before it is chemisorb on nickel means what? Before the chemisorption, the cleavage started, and at the end we will get the species like this. Okay. And after that, the hydrogenation takes place. Hydrogenation of alkene, that reaction, CH2 double bond CH2 plus H2. At the end, we get the species CH3CH3. Means the dihydrogen, after cleavage, it attaches to the CH2 becomes CH3 and another CH2, it becomes CH3, and that double bond becomes the single bond. I hope you all remember that reaction. So this is the mechanism of that reaction. Homolytic cleavage of dihydrogen. This is also the homolytic dissociation of hydrogen on platinum and gold. It is given here. Similar manner, it will physisorb, then chemisorb, the bond cleavage takes place, and at the end you will get the hydrogen atom in a separate manner. Homolytic cleavage takes place or dissociation takes place. This is the mechanism for radical cleavage. Radical cleavage means what? Single bond is formed by two electrons by sharing of electrons or by transferring of electrons. A bond is a combination of two electrons. Okay. So one electron gets separate and radicals are formed. It is shown by this arrow called as a Fischer-Hooke arrow. This is a half arrow, not complete arrow. This is just half-headed arrow, single-headed arrow called as a Fischer-Hooke arrow. WY, this is the species, WY, and after cleavage or after homolytic fission, one electrons distributed on each species. W will carry one electron, Y will carry one electron, and radicals are formed. That's why it is called as the radical cleavage pattern. Okay. This is for heterolytic fission. Third type of dissociation of hydrogen, heterolytic fission. This is the representative example. A and B are taken for explanation. AB, this species, when it undergoes heterolytic, hetero means different, homo means same, hetero means different. So different cleavage takes place means what? It will dissociate unequally, unsymmetrically, differently. One species will carry more electron and other species will carry less electron. One is electron rich, other is electron deficient. and it can be cleaved in two different ways. First one is the A plus, which is cation, electron deficient, plus B minus, which is anion. When B is more electronegative than A, where B is more electronegative than A. For example, HCl. HCl, hydrogen H plus and Cl minus, where chlorine is more electronegative and it will act as an anion, and cation, that is H plus, hydrogen which is electropositive. Then A minus plus B plus. A minus plus B plus means what? A minus will act as anion and B plus will act as cation, where A is more electronegative than B. Okay, let's take example of NaH. NaH, sodium hydride. Na plus. Na plus is the metal and H minus, which is hydride. So we can take such type of examples, and this is the heterolytic dissociation of hydrogen. Hetero means different. So these are the three different mechanistic aspects of hydrogen, dihydrogen. First one is the homolytic cleavage, second one is the radical cleavage, and third one is the heterolytic cleavage, or you can say fission. Okay, clear to everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Other students, all of you are listening or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, madam.
Okay. What is meant by hydride? Hydride means H minus species. Now we will discuss in detail what is meant by hydrides. So dihydrogen, that is H2, under certain reaction conditions combines with almost all elements to form binary compounds called hydrides. What is the definition of hydride? H2 dihydrogen under certain reaction conditions combines with almost all elements to form binary compounds called hydrides. If E is the symbol of the element, then EHX, that is LiH or MgH2, this is one form of hydride. Then another can be EMHN, where M can be any number or N can be any number. For example, B2H6. This is a very famous compound called as a diborane, B2H6. We are going to study the boron chemistry, I think in the third or fourth chapter. Boron chemistry, boron family. So if E is the symbol of an element, then different forms of hydrides will be like this: LiH, lithium hydride; MgH2, magnesium hydride. Then why here it is given like this, LiH? Why not LiH2 and MgH2? And why not MgH? Because lithium is the group first element. It has +1 oxidation state, and that's why it will combine with only single hydrogen atom. And magnesium is the group second element, that is alkaline earth metal. It has +2 oxidation state, and it will combine with only मॅग्नेशियम हा सेकंड ग्रुप एलिमेंट आहे, त्याची ऑक्सिडेशन स्टेट +2 असते आणि म्हणून तो दोन हायड्रोजन बरोबर कंबाईन होतो. सो दिस इज द डिफरन्स बिटवीन these two, the LiH and MgH2. Anyone can ask you the question like this: why not LiH2? Why only LiH? Or why not MgH? Why not MgH3 or MgH4 is there? So because of the group oxidation state, the number of electrons or the number of atoms are decided. हे आपण आपल्या मनाने लिहित नाही, ते ग्रुप ऑक्सिडेशन स्टेट वर डिपेंड करतं. ओके, नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज noble gases do not form hydrides. Noble gases are already fulfilled with their electron requirements, or what we can say, their octet and duplet is already completed, so no need to combine with any other element. That's why noble gases do not form hydrides. Okay. Classification of hydrides. Hydrides are classified into three types. First one is the covalent hydride. It is also called as a molecular hydrides. Generally, uh, okay, we'll see later. You just remember these names. First one is the covalent or molecular hydride. Second one is ionic or saline hydrides. Spelling mistake झाली आहे तिथे. Ionic or saline hydrides. And lastly, metallic or interstitial hydrides. Okay. These are the three classes of hydrides. Then next is these three classes we will discuss in next lecture. So in next lecture, first we'll discuss the details of classification of molecular hydride. Then again, these molecular hydrides are again classified into three types. These are their three types. First is electron rich hydride, second is electron precise hydride, and third one is electron deficient hydride. So these three classes are for molecular hydrides. Okay, classification of molecular hydride, which is also called as the covalent hydride. Then comes saline hydride and metallic hydride. PH3, SBH3, selenites and tellurides. These compounds and their reactions, properties, applications we will discuss in upcoming lectures. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So here it is given for the next lecture. Okay, we'll stop here.